Look at him, he's running out of steam. He started here. All of this. He's running out of steam. I'm just letting him go. You gonna move your leash? I bet you your front paws weigh 5 pounds each right now, buddy. Oh my God. Oh, I mean, look at, he's spraying it all the way out there. What? I'm just letting him go. We already walked, like, we've been walking for about an hour. And so he was already, I know I was tuckered. Okay, let's take a break. All right, he's a good boy. Let me see those paws. Let me see. Oh my goodness. Okay, this way. Come on. Somebody built a little shelter here. Wow. Up against the rock. Did a good job. From all the deadfall that's around here. Anything interesting in there? Huh? You see, I know where he's going. He wants to go over to that ranch over there. If you saw the video from a couple of years ago, when he ran over to see the horses and upset the rancher, who came over to tell us that if he had gone to the other group of horses, they would have stomped him. But he just happened to pick the friendly group of horses, and they just ignored him. So he ran up to the horses. I think there were 3 of them. He ran up to them, just so excited to get over there, you know, cut through the fence and everything. Got to the 3 horses, bark, 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 and they didn't even, they didn't do anything. And so he just kind of started sniffing around. So he was just hanging out with the 3 horses, which was pretty cool. But, you know, he's kind of a knucklehead when he does stuff like that. He was on private land, messing with the guy's horses. So the rancher came over just to make sure that I knew I was on private land. See, it's over there. But he wanted to make sure, you know, basically he was telling me to get the heck out of there, but he was very polite about it. And I apologized and, you know, explained that the dog ran off on me and that I was getting him out of there. So I had to slip through one of the fences. They're barbed wire fences. Come on, this way. We cannot go that way, buddy. As much as you want to, we can't do it. So that's why Lefty is on a leash, because I knew that he was going to remember those horses. And sure enough, this is the first time we walked over in this little section, and he's wanting to drag me back over to where they are. So I knew he was going to do that. Dogs have great memories for stuff like that. Yes, I am a geek. We're playing with a new toy. I've talked about on and off, I've talked to all of you about my fascination, addiction to video, media center type stuff. Going way back, I started with the whole home theater, PC, media centers, computers plugged into the television. I had one of those rear projection, like 50-inch gigantic things way back when. And I had a PC, a computer connected to it. This was DVI connection. It wasn't HDMI, it was DVI, which is kind of a precursor to HDMI. Connected to the PC with a graphics card that had the output on it. And I was running, back then it was Snapstream. Snapstream TV was the TV side of it. I had a TV tuner card in that computer with the cable input going into it. And then Snapstream Media Center. I can't remember the exact name of it. Maybe that's what it was called, Snapstream Media Center. I don't remember. That was the other piece of software where you organized and viewed all of your movies and TV shows. This is a long time ago. I'm going back, boy, this is 20 years ago when I was doing this. So long story short, I've been through devices, software, PCs, all different kinds of stuff, always connecting them up to my TVs so that I could watch downloaded movies, and TV shows without any commercials in them on my televisions using the computer. So I've had some really fancy, really nice setups over the years. So I would set up Snapstream TV, say I want to record Jersey Shore every episode. So it had a guide built in. It would go to that episode, that day, that time. It would tune to it. It would start the recording. Soon as it was done recording, it would go back and clip out the commercials. And then the final file that I ended up with was that television show with no commercials in it, recorded, labeled, and then organized, and it would show up in the media center portion. So I would scroll through my list of TV shows and go to the Jersey Shore, and there would be that episode ready to watch. It was pretty fancy. You know, this is going 20 years ago. This is pretty cool stuff. My TV, I run an Android TV box. It's a Xiaomi Mi box. It's a little box, plugs into the television, and it runs Android TV. Android TV is a special installation of Android that Google makes that's specifically for TV interface. So everything is, all the apps are designed to be operated by remote control, no touch or anything like that. And there's a very limited number of hardware devices that are licensed with Android TV. I mean, like a handful, very few. In fact, when I got the Xiaomi, there was only the NVIDIA Shield, which was like $200, and the Xiaomi was $50. So I've been using that. This is the second one. The first one failed on me after a few years of use. It just wouldn't turn on anymore. So I bought their newest version, their upgraded version. Well, I was poking around on the internet the other day and went down a rabbit hole of Android TV, revisited the topic to see what new hardware devices have been licensed to run Android TV. And there were a couple more than there used to be. And one of them is this right here, this ONN. I guess it's on. It's a little stick. It's like a thumbstick with an HDMI plug on the end. And you plug it into your television. And there's a USB port on here, and you plug that into the USB power port on the television, or an outside USB, so it needs power. Comes with a remote, and it runs Android TV. And this thing was $25. Super cheap. The reason I'm looking at a stick with Android TV is because I'm still working on a solution to having a better bedtime viewing experience without turning on my inverter and my television. It's project time. You all remember a few weeks ago I held up a remote for a gadget that I was messing with. So between now and then, I've had to collect up some pieces and parts that are going to allow me to finish this little project I'm working on. What we used to battle to build with a Windows or a Mac computer connected to a television, now they have all of this packed into a little device that's this big and costs $50. So technology has changed dramatically over the years, and I wanted to mimic that Android TV experience that I have on my big television. I wanted to mimic that on a small screen over here above the bed. So I finally settled on this screen right here. This is from a company called Xtrons, Xtrons. I paid, I think it was $110. This is an 11 11.3 inch screen, something like that. Has HDMI input. It has 3.5 millimeter audio output, and it has a USB port with power. That has speakers on it. They are horrible. I just can't live with it. But like I said, it has 3.5 millimeter audio out. So I've got, this is my first purchase of a Bluetooth type speaker. This has Bluetooth, but it also has auxiliary in. The quality with this sounds so much better on this device. I tried it with the Bluetooth and it's not great. And it could be because of that. I don't know. It's not usable. So I'm going to use it with the 3.5 millimeter. So what I'm working on today is getting this thing wired up. Now this is how it's powered. 12 volt DC. And it came with it on the cigarette lighter adapter. So obviously I don't want that. So I'm gonna modify this wire, go up inside the cabinet here. It's gonna tap in to my existing power that I have there. That'll power it up. Then this gets its power from USB right here, USB-C, to keep the speaker powered. And I think I'm gonna mount the speaker on a small shelf right up here. And then this wire will just tuck in behind the screen and plug into the screen's output. So that's what I'm working on today. Hi everyone. I think I may have mentioned this in a past video where I talked about the more things you have, the more systems you have, and the more gadgets and stuff that you have, the higher the chances that something's going to break, right? If you got 100 systems, you have a higher chance than if you only got 2. So when I have all this stuff and everything's working and running along smooth, you know, life is great. Last night, it's time to get in the bed. I'm setting everything up. I go to turn on my new gadget system that I have wired up over here. Screen, Android TV stick, remote control, speaker, right? Everything. I've been using it for about maybe 10 days. I turn it on and the screen, everything that's supposed to be black or a shade of black is now like bright neon green. I'm like, what the heck? Well, first actually I went to turn it on and the screen wouldn't turn on. It wouldn't respond to the button click on the screen itself. It wouldn't respond to the remote control. So I unplugged the power, plugged the power back in, then it came on and everything is green, tinted green. So I fiddle around with this thing last night. I can't get it to come back to correct. So last night I just got my tablet back out and stuck it up in the cabinet up here just to play a video while I fell asleep. This morning, same thing. I tried messing with the screen again. It's done. Something happened to it. You know, again, I was using it for like 10 days, no problems, and now it's shot. So I went on Amazon, and I'm not even going to dick around with trying to contact this company. I'm just going to return it and get a new one shipped through Amazon. Oh, move. 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 You're in my way. Just supervise for me, will you? Stay away from the razor blades. Left. You can't have this box. Gotta hold on to it until we know this one's not gonna fall apart. Before I even get my hands on it, it's got wet nose on it. Hey! Hey! This is mine. No. You can't have it. Scoot. Oh, I hate these little... God. These cardboard tabs that you gotta pull out. I'm just waiting to rip my fingernail off. Hey! God! This is driving entertainment. Like, hey! Look at all the nose marks. Just leave it alone for a minute. He's addicted to the big milk bones and the big Kirklands there. Kirklands he loves. They're a little softer too. I prefer the Kirklands. he seems to have an easier time crunching through them. His teeth are not as young as they used to be. When we get back to New York, he's getting his vet visit, and part of it is going to be dental treatment. He's getting a tooth pulled. He's had a damaged tooth for years, and it's time for it to finally come out. It's starting to kind of fall apart. So we're going to be pulling that. I'm going to get his teeth all cleaned and gums and all that. So hopefully we'll get his teeth tidied up. I hate doing it because he's going to have to go under the anesthesia, but it's got to be done. All right, I've got it now, nice and sturdy. So now I just use the adjustments that are built into this arm. I still need to tidy up some of my wiring back here. So that part of it's done. Now it's nice and secure and solid. That's the speakers for it. I'm going to put a little shelf right here to house the speaker. So for now it just sits up right there, and actually sounds really good for a little speaker. But once I have it on a shelf here, this wire will just tuck up here and behind it, as will its USB charging cable. So I have to charge this about after every 2 days. I plug it in and charge it up. So that's my nighttime, bedtime viewing TV, Android TV thing that I love, because I can do it all with this remote. Can you let me finish my coffee? Oh my gosh. Lefty. I'm drinking my coffee, watching some Mr. Good Pliers. Dude. Hold on. You know, today we're going to go to the store, get some water, pick up a box of Lefty foods from Chewies.com. Oh, I know. Hold on. Here's an interesting fleet find we just came across. This looks like the bumper, right, goes behind the plastic trim, I think. These look like, I don't know if a bolt ripped through there or if that's a bullet hole, right? These look like bullet holes, don't they? Yeah. If anybody recognizes, you know, I'm thinking this is off of a pickup truck that may be part of the logging operation, because this is the hillside. You can see all the stumps. This is what they just cleared. This whole hillside here, and you can see there's a whole slew of slash piles here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 that I can see. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh my gosh, 14, 15. So they cleared a lot out of here. This was really thick, very thick. Like no sun was getting up on this whole hillside, because we hiked through here quite a bit last time we were here. And it was kind of dark. And there were some pull-in campsites along, but man, were they muddy and damp down there, because the sun never really hit up in here. So this is gonna really wake this whole area up as far as growth from the sunlight. But they got a lot of debris. So excited. How awesome is this for a morning walk? Man, he's like a little puppy. So excited. Well, can you see the truck from here? We're up on top of this little rise here, this hill.